inside the vegetables, different things found inside the picture. I think we were done with this. Okay, so as you are preparing, number one was the first point we were talking about this side. Let's first go back to the first point. The first point is here, preparing a back room where we keep our produce. So number two or number three says, Isaac, you could read for us number three. As Esther reads number three, and then number two, there was a poor numbering there. Each person, at least you get one paragraph to read for us. Kaye, you're welcome. All right, go on.
Handle with care. Never throw or drop produce. This can cause damage, and that word was cut. I'm not sure which word it is. It can cause damage and loss of, yes, I'm reading here.
Okay.
This can cause damage and loss of stock or money. Be careful not to subject fragile items such as berries or to crashing. Dropping a box of apples as little as 3 inches can drastically decrease shelf life and increase waste. Inspect items as you put them away for signs of damage. See a produce item that you would not buy, neither will your customers. I'm done.
Okay, the next person, you could read the next paragraph. Number two, the first one here, Kai, could read for us. Esther, if you are set, you could read for us.
Pardon?
Read for us number three, the first number three.
Okay.
Before handling with care.
Know your temperature zone. When picking up or receiving vegetable delivery, accept only produce items that are within the recommended temperature ranges. Otherwise, they may not last as long in storage or on display. Maintain the cold stuff, warm items and get them stocked outside of the cooler. Packaged salads lose a day's shelf life for every hour kept out of refrigeration. Basic knowledge about storage will help minimize waste and maximize profits.
All right, thank you for that. Lahora, you could read for us number 4.
Rotate items using the first in, first out or FIFO method. Place newer items below or behind older items so that you can be sure to rotate all your produce stock out onto the sales floor before it goes bad. When stacking cases, make sure the printing on the outside of boxes is visible so that you know what is being stacked where. This will make a selection a breeze and save a valuable time.
All right, thank you. Then the last part is for Kaye. Jojo, read for us. Kyle. Okay, otherwise, as is preparing to read for us. So let us first look at the second point, which was saying, know your temperature zones. You know, when you are a person who deals in selling of these products, some of these products are very perishable. They can easily go bad. For example, vegetables such as tomatoes, greens, the spinach, eggplant, onions, if you don't put a temperature which favors them, they will easily go bad. How do they go bad? By rotting. So when picking up and or receiving vegetable delivery from the farmer, since now this is a chain whereby you are now the person who is selling. The other person has finished his or her work of growing. Make sure that you receive and accept only produce items that are within their recommended temperature ranges. Otherwise, they may not last as long as in storage or on display. They can easily get rotten if you don't keep them in the right temperatures. So warm items and can be stacked outside, okay, because temperatures are okay there. And then those ones that require a cooler environment can also be kept into a cooler environment. Then the packaged salads lose a day's shelf life for every hour kept out of the fridge. So you have to make sure that you put them in the freezer such that you maintain their temperatures. So this knowledge will help you to have a longer life shelf for the produce and also maximize profits. Then the other point says handle with care. Don't use a lot of force as if you don't want your produce. Handle with care. Never throw or drop produce, because if you throw down a tomato, it can easily automatically break. It can break. If there are eggs, they can also get broken. So this can cause damage and shrink. Shrink simply means they grow small in size after losing the water vapor. That is loss of stock or money. Once the product gets shrinked, it loses value, it becomes unpleasant. You may not sell it off. And then the other, be careful not to subject fragile items such as the berries or mushrooms to crushing, because they easily go bad. The moment you cause a crack on any of these products, it means that you are reducing their shelf life. It reduces its shelf life. So dropping a box of apples as little as 3 inches can drastically decrease their shelf life. They get rotten in the shortest time possible and increases waste. You have wasted it, you are not gaining anything. Inspect items as you put them away for signs of damage. If you see a produce item that you would not buy, either will your customer. If you see a product that is rotten after inspecting, make sure that you don't buy it, don't stock it, because it will get rotten there and no one will buy it. That is a loss to you. And remember, agricultural business, you are looking at getting profits. So you have to be having genuine things in your stock. And then rotate items using fast in, fast out method. How does this method work? Place newer items below or behind older items so that you can be sure to rotate all your produce stock out onto the sales floor before it goes bad. Remember, when you put this produce in the store, if you have stacked them in maybe a bucket, the older ones are going to, if they are tomatoes, they are going to heat up and they'll become ready. They become very ready. Before you know it, they could easily go bad. So it's better you expose them. The old ones are exposed and then the new ones, you keep them behind, such that if the new ones also get ready. For example, bananas. You expose off those ones that are ripe, and then the ones which are not ripe, you keep them behind the old ones. So that is the method of first in and first out. As simple as that. When stacking, make sure the printing on the outside of the boxes is visible so that you know what is being stacked where. This will make selection a breeze and it saves valuable time. You can easily identify. That's the beauty of packaging. When our products are put inside the box, you can easily identify them. And then the last point says dating. This simply means putting the date when you stocked it, when it was made. If, for example, you are a person who manufactures tomato sauce, you have to put the date that on such and such a day is when I made it. But it will expire after a period of this time. So that thing keeps track of the aged stock. You'll be knowing that these ones that are almost getting expired. Cartons have a way of overstaying. They are welcome. So by marking cases with the received on date, either with a marking pen or a price gun, you can see at a glance which items must be moved first. Because you start with those items which you think that they may expire as soon as possible. So you dispose them off. And then those that have a longer shelf life, those ones, you keep them. So as simple as that, when you do these steps, it means that you are going to be a successful business person. Okay, so Kai, read for us. Kai, read for us the first number 3.
Pardon, teacher, read for you the first what?
The first 2, number 3 and number 4.
A clean ship is happy, bracket, and safe ship. A clean ship is a happy and safe ship. Stack away empty pallets, dump trash, sweep, and mop the floor. Point number 4. Check the load you just put away. Did everything arrive as ordered? Compared to your invoice. Compared to your invoice. This is the time to note outages or shorts that make adjustments with your supplier or warehouse.
All right, thank you. So basically, at this point, as you receive your products, make sure that a clean ship is a happy and safe ship. When you clean up your stock properly to receive new stock, you are able to harvest more profit. So stack away empty pallets, the so-called containers, the boxes, and then dump the trash, and then sweep and mop the floor. The floor has to be looking good. Why do you do all this? Such that you are able to eliminate even pests. Rats could be there, termites could be there, so you are able to eliminate all of them in the shortest time possible through mopping and sweeping. When they deliver to you the produce you have ordered for, check the load you just put away. Okay, did everything arrive as ordered? Have you gotten everything that you ordered for? Compare to your invoice. This is the time to note outrages or shortages and make adjustments with your supplier or hardware. In case there is anything that has not been sent, you are able to file a complaint. If everything arrived the correct way you expected, you also give them a good comment. So the other is when a load is put away, step into the cooler and dry storage area and ask these questions. Is everything accessible? Can I quickly tell which eggplant varieties are which? Which shelf stores chills or onions? Which shelf has cabbage? Okay, after you organizing your shop and you have stacked everything, you are able to identify, there you find cabbage, there you can find this. Okay, that as simple as that. Are the items in the cooler rotated and dated? The freezer, you have to keep on changing them, the items which are inside there. And the date, you have to be knowing when did you put them inside the freezer. The other is, are sensitive items protected? i.e., nothing heavy crushing boxes of tomatoes. Mushrooms are not being dried out by the fan or wind. When you are putting your stay inside the store, make sure that the lighter things are not covered with heavy things which could crush them. You have to make sure that you are vigilant over that. And finally, is the storage area safe, free from excess water or debris, or well lit? Ask yourself if the rack has wax. Is the water right? Is air saturation okay? Okay, that is the short form of WSCCS. Is the water right? Is the air saturation okay? Are color breaks good? Okay, do categories make sense? Can customers shop it easily? Then take a pride in your work. Okay, once you do all this, you'll be able to harvest enough money from your business in form of profits. I hope this page has been clear to everyone. If there isn't anything, if it is something which you feel is not comfortable with you, you can still consult. Is everything okay? Hello, member.
Yes.
So we are going to look at marketing these products. Marketing is just like any other way. For you people, you like watching televisions or even being on internet. There are so many things that they do market using technology. How will, if for example, you are found in Mpiji, how will you let a person in Kabarole or Bushenyi know that you have eggplants that you are selling, minus you going to that person? Okay, so you have to market. How will you know that another neighbor of yours is selling something good, maybe mushroom, if the person has not advertised? Okay, so we are going to look at advertising technology. Isaac, you could read for us. Read for us what marketing technology is.
This refers to the whole process in providing products of agricultural origin to customers in the forms they want, when they want them. Many things have to be done because people want to get their food in ready-to-cook form. On top of that, farmers must produce what someone wants. Marketing technology then will provide the link between the producer and the customer. Different marketing channels exist today. Some vegetable farmers only want to grow and get their output to a processor. Others want to deal directly with the customer. In all this, the quantity produced is important in selecting the marketing channel to use.
All right, thanks so much. So there are various processes. Have you ever asked yourself that For you, you just sit in your sitting room and you wait for latto milk. Have you seen the cow that gave you the latto milk? You have not seen it. Ice cream. Ice cream is just found inside a supermarket in the freezer. You just pick it, but you have not asked yourself, but who made this ice cream? What is the process before? Yeah? Maybe there could be one local man somewhere there in the village milking the cow. After milking the cow, he collects the milk, takes to the industry. In the industry, they start cleaning the milk, removing the fat, doing what, and then they process for you ice cream. So those are the processes until they put inside the box that container of ice cream, that container of latto milk, or fresh milk, or dairy milk. Then you just see the packet, the sacket, you say, okay, hey, bring my latto milk. So it's a process. This refers to all the processes in marketing, in providing products of agriculture again to consumers in the forms they want, when they want them. A consumer, for example, me, I will tell a farmer, I want yogurt. I don't want your local milk. So the farmer has to look for ways to process yogurt. I want pork. I don't want to know how your pig has been eating. Okay, so that desire of the consumer, of the customer, is the one that drives marketing technology. How do you convince me to take your product? Nowadays, they're producing very many things. There is a teju juice. There is a strawberry juice. But have you tasted the real strawberry? You have not. They just process the strawberry into the juice you desire. Okay? So many things have to be done because people want to get their food in the ready-to-cook form. You have seen. You go to the supermarket, you just buy chicken, raw chicken, which they've already removed the head, they've removed the feathers, they remove the legs for you just to get. You take it home, slice it into your pieces, and you cook it and eat. But you have not known the process behind. When it was a chick, they were giving it chick mash. From chick mash, they started immunizing it. After immunizing it, they gave it water. For you don't know all that process. Because for you want only the product in ready-to-cook form. Ask yourself about millet. Millet is sold in supermarkets. But the process to go through sugarcane, for you get sugar. You are only interested in having sugar to mix your tea. But the first steps where the farmer cleared the garden, he planted the sugarcane. After planting the sugarcane, he cut the sugarcane, he took it to the factory, they squeezed the juice out of it, they removed the water, they removed the sugar. Okay? Such processes. And on top of that, farmers must produce what someone wants. Marketing technology then will provide a link between the producer and the consumer. The person who produces and the person who consumes. Okay? The consumer is a person who uses the product. A producer is a person who delivers the product for consumption. A farmer is a producer. And then we have a consumer who is the person like you. So different marketing channels exist today. Some vegetable farmers only want to grow and get their output to a processor. They want to grow their crops. For example, tomatoes. Grow tomatoes, take to the company which produces the tomato sauce. They give you money and that is finished. That is the processor. Some could say, me, I want to grow my oranges. At the end of the day, I want to sell off oranges and to the producer who produces juice. For example, Coca-Cola, which takes this produce to produce Minute Maid. Okay, you take my fruits there, they give me my money, and that is the end. Others want to deal directly with the consumer. The ones who come, you're gonna harvest your honey, you go to the market, you give it to the consumer yourself. You don't again sell to another person who takes, maybe, for example, you take the producer. The producer of honey cleanses the honey, selects it, grades it, packages it, puts into containers, and advertises it for sale. For you just want direct, you get your honey from the farm and take to the market to meet the consumer. There are also such a type of farmers. In all this, quantity produced is important in selecting the marketing channel to use. How much do you produce? If you produce less, you may not need a lot of market. But if you produce too much, you have to make sure that you work hard to attain a reasonable market. Is this page okay to everybody? Before we move to the next page. Hello. Hello. Okay, so Laura, you could read for us. Read for us. Marketing functions.
The various activities involved in getting products to the consumers in the desired is known as marketing functions. A marketing function is an activity or process that converts a product or performs a role in making products readily available for customers. Marketing is more than selling what has been produced. Many people, when they hear the term marketing, view it as changing of ownership of products and services. It's far more than this. For instance, the ownership may change several times between the producer and the consumers.
All right, thanks so much. So various activities are involved in getting products to the consumers in a desired form is known as marketing functions. A marketing function is an activity, okay, or process that converts a product or performs a role in making products readily available for consumers. For example, if a farmer wants yogurt, actually, if a consumer wants yogurt, so the farmer has to make sure that he converts milk into yogurt. If a consumer wants ghee, so a farmer somewhere has to make sure that ghee is produced. Look at an example of the skins and hides which people are using for making leather. For you just to go and say, Jumia, please, I want a shoe, which is leather, but you are going to wear a skin of a cow, a skin of a certain animal, but you don't know the process which it has gone through until when you find a shining shoe. So those are the things, value addition, to make it desirable and available to the consumer. So marketing is more than selling what has been produced. It's not all about selling what you have grown, okay? It is far more. Many people, when they hear about this term, they view it as changing of ownership of products and services. It is far more than this. For example, for instance, the ownership may change several times. Look at a scenario whereby a farmer takes his produce to the market. For example, let's use an example of Nakawa market. Takes to Nakawa market, they sell to the retailer, to the wholesaler who is there in the market. And then a wholesaler is a person who deals in very many bulk produce. And then a retailer is one who sells fewer products. For example, retail shop, a person takes the produce to another direction, that is the retailer, to stack them. So I've seen that ownership has changed 3 times, from the farmer who brought to the market, and then a wholesaler who is in the market who has sold to the retailer, and the retailer will sell to the consumer. So that is the beauty of market functions. So let's see what we have on the other page. So those processes are very many, and we are going to discuss one by one. We have harvesting as the first point, assembling, grading. Esther, you could read for us. Esther, read for us the first two.
Harvesting. This
Yes.
is the first step in getting what has been grown ready for the consumer. It is the picking of vegetables as soon as they ripe. This often encourages the plant to produce even more. Different vegetables require different methods of harvesting. Harvesting can be digging, Irish potato or carrot, cutting, cabbage, picking, tomatoes, eggplants, uprooting or reaping. Care must be used to assure a good product, while vegetables must be protected from wilting and injury.
Okay, so number one, harvesting. This is the first step in getting what has been grown ready for the consumer. It is the picking of vegetables as soon as they are ripe. Last time we discussed signs of a ripe vegetable. Okay. This encourages the plant to produce even more different vegetables. Different vegetables require different methods of harvesting. Most harvesting is done by hand picking for vegetables because they are short. You just hand pick them, pluck them. You could use a knife for cutting the leaves, for example, spinach. Okay. So the other is for harvesting can be digging, for example, Irish potatoes and the carrots. You just dig them out. You could just cut, for example, cabbage. You just cut them. And then picking, just pick eggplants, tomatoes. Uprooting or reaping. Care must be used to assure a good product, while vegetables must be protected from wilting and injuries. Don't cause any injury to the vegetables. For example, the tomatoes, the carrots, they can easily go bad if they are injured. So we have assembling. After harvesting everything from the garden, you have to assemble them. This is the collecting of large quantities of vegetables or products to a center or central place. People want to deal with large volumes, yet some gardens or farms don't have the large enough volume to fill a lorry. Unless they combine with other harvests. This will require having a vegetable packing shed. If you want to sell off to a farmer, to a business person, and you're a farmer, the person has come with a very big lorry. A person says, I want you to fill tomatoes in this lorry, but you cannot. What do? You consult your other farmers within the vicinity, within the area. Tell them, I have gotten a businessman who wants to buy these tomatoes of mine, but I cannot fill up the lorry. Then you agree to assemble all your produce. If they are cabbages, you assemble them in one place. After assembling, you put them in the vehicle and they are taken to the market. After doing that, there is grading. This is sorting of products or vegetables for uniformity. You remove the small ones one side, the rotten ones one side, the big ones one side. Okay? For uniformity. This occurs after assembling. Standards are used in grading. The purpose is to protect the consumer from unsafe vegetables, the rotten ones, and assure uniformity. From your experience, do you think our vegetables are graded? Definitely. little is being done by the farmers. You just find every size in the market, rotten ones and the ones which are not rotten. Grading often involves sorting based on several factors: size, color, blemishes, or defect in the product, the ones which have gotten cracks, injuries. Weight, because you have to weigh these products. A head of a cabbage, one head of cabbage should be having a maximum kilogram or weight you require. So when you weigh, you have to get at least a multiple of them of the same weight. Variety, because you have gotten these products from different farmers and there are different types, different varieties. So you have to make sure that you grade them according to the variety, such that you can defend them while in the market. When a farmer, when a seller asks that what is the name of this cabbage? Okay, and the type of production, organic or convection. We are using organic products, for example, mulching, or you are spraying using chemicals. So you have to do all of that sorting. This means that every product or vegetable has its own. Okay, you are able to know ownership of different vegetables. So maybe you could read for us, Laura. Read for us. After standard, we have inspection. So read for us inspection and processing.
Inspection. Inspection is an examination of a vegetable or product to ensure that it's free of disease or other defects. Other inspections are to assure that quality standards are met. Transporting. This is the movement of vegetables or products and services from one place to another. Processing. This is the transforming of a raw product into new products.
Okay, so inspection is an examination of a vegetable or product to assure that it is free from a disease or other defects. Other inspections are to assure that quality standards are met. Okay, you have to make sure that there are no defects, nothing is rotten, none of the products has injuries, and the rest. And then the other, E, is transporting. This is a movement of vegetables or products and services from one place to another. Transport from the garden to the market. Okay, that is number one. You transport from the processing area to the market. For example, all of you, maybe you have heard of Maganjo. Maganjo millers, they deal in millet and soya beans and the rest. You have heard of drum, the baking flour. Where do you find that? Where have you heard that they are growing wheat in Uganda? But you have flour. So we transport from other countries, from other areas. After that, we have to do processing. This is transforming of raw products into new products. You get the wheat, you crush it, grind it, and formulate a new product, which you call the wheat, and you make chapati, mandazi, and you enjoy. You get tomato sauce after processing tomatoes. You get chili sauce after crushing the chili. And then for you swag around in KFC. You just be putting little tomato sauce in your chicken as you are crushing, forgetting about the farmer who was somewhere there in the bush growing tomatoes. So packaging is also a very good necessity. Packaging is very good. Packaging simply means putting the products into containers. You have seen the container of ice cream, container of sugar, this packed sugar. Water is packed with the Renzol and the rest of the products. You have seen the packaging of Bushera. Bushera is put into a very small bottle. okay? And they have put there a label. This is where products are put in containers. The containers retain the product quality and make handling easy. You can just pocket even some of these products. There are different packaging materials. For instance, tomatoes may be put in a paper package or bottles if it is tomato sauce. And then after packaging, you have to do labeling. How do I differentiate between these products and this product and the other? Okay. Can you differentiate between Blue Band and a margarine? Can somebody differentiate that? Can you differentiate Lato milk from fresh dairy milk? Okay. Members, can you differentiate between Lato milk and fresh dairy milk?
Yes, teacher.
Lato milk is powder.
How do you differentiate Lato milk?
Is it Lato milk powder?
Okay. So, you wanted to say something, continue.
And fresh dairy milk is done from the cow.
Okay, when you look at their package, when you look at their packages, those pints, can you differentiate them? Minus testing or opening?
Yes, they're brand design.
Okay, that's good if you can differentiate. This is a way of identifying a product. It is a step in packaging. It gives a name as well as the weight, date, place of origin, nutritional value, and then satisfaction and expiry. All the things are written there. When it will expire, when you eat the product, what nutritional value will you get? And when will it expire? When was it brought to the market? And then who made it? That's the place of origin. Is it a Ugandan company, Kenyan company, etc.? So these things of these steps involved in processing products or marketing qualifies to every product. Let it be smearing oil, lotions, let it be even a shoe. Okay, there are so many processes that are involved into that. So we shall start from here next time. We shall start talking about storing, advertising, and then promoting. Okay. Hello, members. Hello.
Hello, teacher.
Yes.
Is there anything that's not clear before we conclude this lesson?
I don't think so.
Okay. So, Kaya, you are saying that your network was disturbing you. I hope now it's okay. So, we will get this work in the group. Is it okay? All right. Thank you. Thank you for attending.
Is it possible for you to send it directly to my email?
I don't have there. Okay. As if I have your email, I will forward that. I'll forward it. Okay. Hello.
Bye.
All right. Isaac, Esther, Laura, and then Kai. Have a blessed day. And Esther.
Thank you, teacher.
Have a blessed day. And goodbye for now.
Bye-bye, everyone.
I've just sent you my.
All right.